Hello, I'm Danny DeLillo and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Moviemaker magazine. We're here at the Cameron's Los Angeles showroom in West Hollywood and I'm here with Armen Antranikian with his movie, The Girlfriend Game. Let's take a look at a clip.
Dites-moi tout, dites-moi tout, le ciel, la soirée.
Hi, this is Danny. Leave me a message.
Dites-moi.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So Armen, congratulations on your film.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you here.
Nice to be here.
Well, it's lovely to have you here. Tell us a brief synopsis of your film.
Well, it's a film about this couple who plays a game at bars at night, and then we follow them, and one night the game gets slightly out of hand, and things get really weird and twisted.
They get really weird and twisted in a really amazing, fascinating way. Where did you come about the story?
So the story was written quite a while ago, I think like almost 10 years ago, by Nick and Tosca. And Sophie Cartman, the actress, lead actress in the film, introduced me to the short story, and I just loved it. And I instantly reading it, I felt like this would be an amazing short, you know? And so there was like already the initial draft of the script, and we continued working on it, and then got it to a place where we felt like this is something, you know, we really want to shoot, and then it started happening.
It's just got so many great little moments, and I was kind of like on the edge, like, what's gonna happen? This is so like seductive. If you haven't seen it, it's gonna take you on a journey. But you know, as a director, was it really quite amazing to kind of direct something that kind of really feeded your audience in?
Right. I mean, it was definitely like a process of, you know, we have a couple that lives a quite ordinary life, and playing this game as a way of like really spicing up their relationship, but almost like needing to play the game, and as a way for that to connect with each other. And it's pretty challenging to get the audience on that kind of wavelength quickly. So we had to figure out a way of like, how can we kind of get people into the story as quickly as possible. So the beginning of the film is very much that kind of, you know, it's pretty fast edited. It almost like feels almost like a commercial or a movie trailer or something like that. And it's sort of a kind of quick way into that kind of game, and then we kind of go from there and explore the story further and where that really takes us to sort of really reveal what's beneath the surface in that relationship.
Do you think it's kind of, I mean, it's kind of a question, but do you think it's kind of an example of like modern day like couples, like, you know, do we need to spice things up or like whatever? Like it's interesting to me. But with the casting, you had two really, you know, wonderful cast members who worked really well together. How was the casting process for you?
It was very straightforward, you know. It started with you know, Sophie and I sort of like really started collaborating even before this, and then she was dating Jeff, the main guy, actually, during the making of this film. So it was, you know, pretty much everything you're seeing on screen has sort of like real resonance.
Wow, that's amazing.
And yeah,
I bet they had good rehearsals, didn't they? Yeah,
we had,
of course.
Great rehearsals, very twisted rehearsals.
Yeah,
you know?
You had to go there.
We had to go. We were there. You know? So it's pretty much as much of a documentary as it can be. You know.
Yeah. As a director, do you kind of like really pull it out of them, like in terms of like making them sort of go through that kind of experience?
Well, it was almost like, I would say, relationship therapy. Do you know what I mean? Where it's like the film became, you know, sort of a way for us to you know, just by working on this story, it was a pretty intense experience. But it was also, you know, it kind of became about negotiating the reality with illusion in some ways, and figuring out a way of capturing what we needed for the story without, you know, it's always like when you make a film, you're kind of always confronting reality in some ways, because you have a very clear idea of what it is you're trying to achieve.
Confronting reality, that's definitely what we try and make in the movies, which you executed extremely well. Now, you made it look very easy, and it looked like a well-produced film, but what would you say was your kind of biggest challenge making this film?
I think the biggest challenge was, you know, I mean, all of it is a challenge.
Yeah.
It's all of it is a challenge. I think the biggest challenge is once you have, and I had that definitely as I read the short story, I definitely felt like instantly I knew what this film was. I knew where it was sort of taking us and where it had to go to actually work on screen. But the real challenge was like to figure out how we can get all these little pieces, ranging from like locations to extras to actors to the music to sound design, to sort of contribute to that arc and get us as an audience to this kind of place within 15 minutes where we really feel the essence of the story.
Captured of it. The music was so poignant. It was like, I was like, oh, I'm feeling this right now, you know, I'm feeling this experience. And all those things, to capture all those things, it's like, it's an independent filmmaking, it's a challenge, isn't it?
Right, totally.
Yeah.
Especially in LA, you know, like this town is not designed for independent filmmakers in a way, you know, and you're sort of definitely competing with like high budget Hollywood productions or commercials in the sense of like, you know, especially the kind of locations that we needed are pretty like popular locations, locations that are in demand, and so you're kind of constantly confronting that challenge, but it all worked out, you know.
It worked beautifully, and that's what I love about independent filmmaking, particularly in Los Angeles, is that, you know, you kind of, I look and I'm like, this is a big budget, this is, you know, I can see it, you know, but it's an independent film. Right. So Warner Brothers, if you can do it on an independent budget, like, you need to hire him, do you know what I mean? I'm just saying. No, I mean, you're a well-traveled man as well, like you're from one of my favorite countries, Hamburg, Germany. Yeah. But then you also moved to my country, to London.
Right.
So yeah, what made you travel from like Germany to London?
I always had, you know, like to me, I always wanted to live, you know, I always wanted to make English language films, and even growing up in Germany, I kind of like, you know, it's sort of like, you know, obviously I'm very much, by growing up there, feel very German in many ways. But I definitely wanted to live in a place that feels more international, and London is just such a
metropolitan, isn't it? Yeah.
And like I went to art school there, and like got really exposed to like photography and art and design, and I feel
that's why it looks so like I get it now. I see it was the art design of the movie that made it look like that good.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't notice. So I definitely feel like that was sort of a very important period in my life where I sort of gathered all the inspiration that's sort of now kind of ending up in the stuff I'm working on.
And now you're over here in Los Angeles.
I am, yeah.
Amazing. So what's next for you in Los Angeles?
I'm definitely sort of, you know, we're working on a feature film right now.
Fantastic.
With Nick, who wrote the short as well. And,
fantastic.
Very much similar genre, similar worlds, similar characters, but a little bit more, a bit of a horror kind of thing. Some more references are Mulholland Drive and
very good.
Know, something that feels very
bit of David Lynchy kind of thing, yeah.
David Lynch and Roman Polanski.
Oh, amazing.
You know, Eyes Wide Shut.
Eyes Wide Shut.
Some of those are like our favorite films. So we're sort of looking at creating something that really deals with obsession and jealousy in a kind of bigger way. Wow.
And so what's it like after all the hard work that you put into making this film, and then you get officially selected by New Filmmakers Los Angeles?
It's great. It's great to show the film in the city where we made it, you know, and to be able to have audiences come and see the film on a big screen. It's really like we always, you know, made every decision based on having it seen on a bigger screen, you know, all the way from the way it was shot to the color correction to the sound design. So I'm excited for people to watch it collectively, which I also think is a bit more of an awkward experience to see the film with a group of people versus on your own. So I'm excited to see how the audience reacts.
Well, Armen, you're very talented, and we're all very much looking forward to seeing and watching more of your work.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.